everyone, I'm back. I have a little fitness routine that I am going to present today that can be done on any park bench, anywhere. You can do it as a destination workout so that you can walk to a park bench, do this little workout, and then walk back. That's a great complement to your walking program. You can also do it on your lunch break. These are really simple exercises. I'm going to be cueing you through the things you should be paying attention to. And of course, before you start this, you've gotten clearance from your physician that you don't have any restrictions for any kind of fitness program. These types of programs I'm presenting are for those that are a little bit more on the mature side, so over 50, 60, 70. So I hope this has some application for you, and please go with my progressions. Okay, so I'm going to start with the easiest level first, and then you progress slowly up through the more advanced levels. So with any fitness routine, I'm just going to do a little bit of a warm-up here, a little movement through my torso, and a little movement to get my muscles engaged. And I'm just checking in with any kind of stiffness or tightness that I have. I'm going to do some squats here just to warm up my lower body. That gets my heart rate up as well. And through my warm-up, I'm starting to really engage my core. So my core is foundation, right? Our core is foundation to everything that we do. Our core muscles of our abdomen and our back never really take a break. They're engaged all the time, even when we sleep. And it's especially important to keep them engaged when you are doing any kind of activity that causes imbalance or anything that is going to be recruiting muscle groups where we might be forgetting about our posture. So I'm focusing on my core right now. So what is my core? I'm going to go over that in a second as I finish my little squats here. So these are just my warm-up squats. You can also do some high knee lifts for your warm-up. So your core contraction is really feeling like you're drawing your belly button in towards the back of your spine. And then you want to feel kind of a generalized contraction through the base of your rib cage, and then you know you're engaging the transverse abdominis. And that's kind of a wide swath of musculature that wraps around your abdomen and really keeps everything intact. And the importance of your core is to keep the movement from going into your back and causing any kind of back injury. Okay, shoulder roll back. One more time, shoulder roll back. And last time, and this time I'm going to drop those shoulder blades down deep, like my scapula dropping down to my hip bones. And then I'm going to pull that belly button in. As I do that, I'm pulling my kegels up, and there's my core. Okay, so I'm going to be referencing that throughout these activities. Okay, so a little warm-up exercise. Maybe your warm-up is your walk to your park bench. Okay, so this is my bench today. So the first thing I'm going to do is a plank exercise, and this is just a static hold position. So comfortable hand position is just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And I'm just holding that, making sure that my hip is not sagging, and also making sure that I'm not arching back. Those are signs that my core is not engaged. So I'm drawing that belly button in as I'm doing that core contraction, and I'm holding. So if you aren't able to do a plank like this, then I don't think it's wise that you progress to the push-up series that I'm going to be showing in a second. So it's always good to hold your plank for at least a minute. If you can only hold it for a few seconds, that's fine too. Take a break and then join me whenever you're ready. And then I can do some changes in my footwork here to kind of test my plank. So I'm just going open, open, close, close with my feet. And as you do that, you're going to feel your abdominal wall kind of shift up its contraction. Drawing that belly button in at all times, maintaining a tall and erect spine. And notice as I start to get a little bit tired, I'm sinking down a little bit. So I'd like to keep my shoulders up over the level of my hands. Ideal plank. If you need to take a break here, that's great. And if not, I'm just going to place one hand in the center and cross that opposite leg to the back, and I'm going to stretch up. And this is again lengthening through the abdominal wall and holding. And this is also really great to fire up that oblique and transverse on that supporting side. Advanced would be a balance position here with that leg extended out to the side. And if you can hold this for around a minute, that'd be great. Drop out of it whenever you feel that you can't do anymore. So please gauge your own strength. Quivering, shaking muscles here is a sign that you might be pushing it a little bit too far. So I'm just going to do that to the other side. So my right hand's going to be center here with my left leg behind me, coming straight up. I'm going to hold that position there and making sure that my foot, my supporting foot, and my hand are in the same alignment. Nice deep breath, drawing that belly button back, and then extending that leg up for a more advanced move, and holding as long as you can. And you're going to feel the firing happening not only in the leg that you're lifting, but also in that supporting leg. And all around that hip girdle, I'm going to feel static contraction as my body tries to balance through this activity. This is a great balance exercise as well. Okay, I'm going to hold as long as you can, and then come down. Nice. I'm going to switch my muscle grips now. I'm going to go right into my tricep dips. Okay, so my tricep dips, I'm taking a seat on the bench. My hands are just draping off the front of that bench on either side of my hips, and gently sliding my hips off the front of the bench, just so I could almost brush my backside against that bench. And you can just hold this for your beginning pose. And then if you have a little bit more tricep shoulder strength, no restrictions in your shoulders, of course, and then we're going to drop down. And on this activity, I want to keep those elbows drawn back as far as I can. And then I want to try to keep my spine erect and tall. Our tendency would be to slouch down in these to recruit. I want to keep it nice and tall. My shoulders are back, and I'm just dropping my hips right to the front of the bench, keeping my elbows drawn straight to the back. And if you can only do one or two of these, that's fabulous. And also just holding that top position is great as well. So more advanced work is one-legged. I try to do upwards of 6 to 8 of these in each position. So 6 to 8 with both feet on the ground, 6 to 8 with one leg lifted, and then 6 to 8 with a switch. Nice easy breathing, always drawing that belly button back towards the spine. And a lot of these activities I do with a rating of perceived exertion. That is, I go to the point where my muscles are feeling a little bit of strenuous action, but I'm not overdoing it. So my reps are generally gauged on how I'm perceiving those muscle groups handling the exercise. So I don't want to get to the point where I'm maxing out so much that I'm shaking and then won't be able to continue the activities. All right, so these are our triceps, general plank. And so I'm just going to attempt a few little push-ups here. Okay, so here we're going to go with a wider grip. We want to have a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. So wider grip here on the bench, and then establishing the shoulders same level as the hands. I'm checking in with my core. So very similar to the plank position. My hands are a little bit wider than the plank. All right. Really checking in with my core, extremely important. I'm going to drop down. Slowly lower my chest down towards the bench. Try to lift up my torso so that the shoulders are in alignment with the hands. And if you can only just hold that first position, that's great. If you can do one push-up, that's wonderful. And then I'm going to find, when I start to fatigue, that I'm going to find that my torso is going to want to shift position. I'm going to find that I'll arch, or I'm going to back up like this. So that means I'm reaching that point of fatigue and I might want to stop. So I want to do a personal goal here. And then one more. And again, I'm going with my check-in with my muscles. Don't want to strain or pull anything or get to the point where I'm too sore. All right, so that's good. Always want to stretch these muscle groups out after you've done upper body work. Stretching to the back here, opening up through that chest. Yes, excellent. A little tricep stretch here, but posterior shoulder overhead for the triceps. Back. Just to lengthen them out, that decreases muscle soreness. Okay, I got my triceps. And then I might want to do a little abdominal work. And this again is going to be the level that you are ready for. So I'm going to center myself on the bench. I'm going to kind of turn towards the camera here. Okay, I'm in a nice grip on that bench behind me, so I'm really fully supported. I'm going to lean back, bend my elbows behind me, leaning back, still drawing that belly button in. Nice core, try not to slouch, pull up nice and tall, and I'm just going to do a little toe taps. There's a little bit of abdominal work here going. And again, this is your own level. So if you are able just to lean back and just little toe taps on the floor like this, that's great. If you can draw your knees up a little bit further, a little bit more intense exercise. If you want to speed them up a little bit, beautiful. And you'll find, as I do, I feel a little pressure on my sacral area where my bones are hitting the bench. So if you are finding a bench anywhere, you might want to bring a pad or a jacket and lay it down underneath your butt. And pulling up still nice and tall. And then here's your advanced position here. And then checking in, am I sacrificing my form a little bit? I'm starting to curl under here. I want to be nice and tall. Just as many as you can do safely. Nice. And then I'm going to stretch up nice and tall, lengthen out those abdominals. And then I'm going to go back to my push-up position or my plank position, either one. So I'm going to stabilize those hands. Here I really want a solid base here. And I'm not going to be bending at the elbows, so I'm going to have a more narrow position with my hands, legs behind me, shoulders over the wrists, and then just going to do some little lifts to the back. Extensions at the hip. And we are firing here at the hip. And then you're also going to feel those flexors on the other side. So everything around the hip joints. And I'm finding I'm sinking back a little bit, reposition myself. You can speed this up a little bit. And then obviously you can do combos with this. You can do a leg lift with a push-up, also with the more advanced work. We're starting nice and basic today. These are larger muscle groups of the hips, the glutes. They're very, very strong. You might find that you might not exhaust those glutes right away. Lots of variations. You can hold at the top and do like pulses. You can show your shoulders. Stay close over the wrists. I don't know about you, but I'm working up a sweat. Okay, and here. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and then take a seat. And I'm just going to stretch out his glutes a little bit, just crossing one leg over the other, leaning gently over the tops of my legs. Just kind of loosens up the back of that leg area. So recovery. Ooh. So those are the basic exercises that I do on park benches. There's so many more. I'll be posting, I'm trying to post one of these videos about once a week with just different variations on things that we can do that don't involve a lot of fancy equipment or going to the gym or anything, just utilizing things you have around the house. And today we're utilizing a park bench. And generally speaking, most houses have a park bench somewhere within a few blocks of the house. All right, I hope this was helpful. Make sure to stretch out. Make sure to drink a lot of water. Water is so important. You want to gauge your water intake each day by taking your body pounds in number. Take that in 1/2 of that number and try to drink that amount in ounces. I'm around 120, so I want to drink 60 ounces of water every day. All right? Woo, that's to start that first thing in the morning. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.